Hello everybody, this is Milesluigi welcoming you to the Bronycon 2014 trip report video. If you follow my channel, you'll know that I did a Bronycon 2013 trip report video. And this video, my goal is to give you the experience of Bronycon 2014. Unlike last year, I'm not going to go into extreme depth like, oh hey, I woke up this morning and I ate bacon. No. Instead, I want to get an overall impression, kind of an overall scope of what happened, and comparisons to last year's Bronycon. So, first things first is that I get up Thursday. I get to Baltimore on Thursday instead of Friday. Huge difference. Oh my gosh, massive difference. Also, way smarter of a move on my behalf. Because Evilpoptart and I make it to Baltimore. Our flight got delayed, by the way, but it wasn't too bad. We make it to Baltimore. We meet up with Andrew. You may know him better as Higsby for the very first time. This is the first time my Let's Play group had met in person completely for the first time. And we just have a grand old time at the hotel we were staying at, specifically the Marriott. We did want to comment that the Marriott was incredibly good. They just completely embraced the fact that Bronycon was happening this weekend. They gave us custom card keys that had ponies on them. They gave us free Wi-Fi with an access code. And they even gave us a channel that was showing My Little Pony episodes non-stop on Channel 19. Although, fun fact about that, the My Little Pony channel was just showing My Little Pony DVDs, and whoever was in charge of changing the DVDs never really paid attention to it, because we occasionally got the My Little Pony menu on DVD for multiple minutes. But regardless, they were fantastic. The Marriott was absolutely fantastic. Thursday, we did actually go pick up our badges, and here's a comparison for you. Bronycon 2013, we waited in line for our badges, or I waited in the line for my badge for over 4 hours. This year, 0 hours, 0 minutes, 0 seconds. No wait at all. There was like, we go to where we get pick up our badges, there's like 20 people, maybe 3 or 4 of them are helping people, and they're like, come here, get your badges, and we're like, oh my gosh, so we just got our badges. It's like, wow. That's 4 hours I got back somehow. But otherwise, the convention itself actually wasn't on Thursday. Just I'm incredibly thankful I actually came early enough, and, well, I didn't wait in line for badges at all. Thursday night, as you may know, you're probably already currently watching it on this channel, our LP group did play Mario Party 3, and that will be continually uploading as I speak right here, right now. That was kind of a fun experience, I will say the least. I'm not going to say anything more about that. Enjoy the Mario Party 3 series. So we go ahead and fast forward to Friday, the true start of the actual convention. First things first is I did want to comment that the vendor hall this year was spectacular. I'd say it was about 1.5 times bigger than last year's vendor hall. There were a lot more vendors, a lot more room, and a lot of more different items on sale, and it was continually busy all 3 days filled with people. Holy cow, vendor hall, bigger, more ponies, plushies, which is like my favorite item. I want more plushies, except I have to take out like a mortgage to get some of these plushies, or a loan, because they're that expensive. Oh my gosh. Oh, here's a picture of me with a plushie I did not buy. It's a Discord plushie, because I knew it would make Evilpoptart jealous. Evilpoptart was there to buy Discord merchandise, and so one vendor just let me get a picture of Discord here. Isn't that really cool? I did actually buy a pretty cool plush here, a Lyra plushie, which is here's a picture of me with the Lyra plushie. I bought it for someone very special in my life, actually. And that's as far as I will say about that. One other cool item, I'll go more into items either way. These are kind of like the big items that I got right away from the vendor hall. Is this Mario Kart 8 and My Little Pony crossover poster, which just fit me spectacularly. It's funny, I showed this one specific picture to Wayoshi, and then he cracks Mario Kart 8 jokes, like how all these characters are screwed over, and what in the world is Apple Bloom doing on ATV? And I'm like, you know, if you told that to the artist who drew that picture, they'd probably just look at you in a weird face being like, dude, I just made a crossover picture. What in the world are you talking about? Just like last year's Bronycon, this year's Bronycon had a lot of fun panels for the voice actors, the writers, and the comics. Specifically, Friday there was one voice actor panel where they played Apples to Apples, which was about as hijinksy as you can imagine, just observing an Apples to Apples game. They vandalized a lot of cards, actually, and put in custom answers. They should have just done an Apples to Apples game with, like, half regular cards and half blank cards instead of whatever they did. Fun fact that came out of this this was a picture, like someone got the idea, I think it was some card too, for Alicorn Princess Mike Tyson versus Flutterhulk. And then someone drew a picture of it. Well, of course, Alicorn Princess Mike Tyson versus Flutterhulk. You better watch out, Alicorn Princess Mike Tyson might bite your wing off. That's a terrible joke, Milesluigi. But that picture actually ended up going on sale at the charity auction later that night. So, which, speaking of things, Friday night, I got to go ahead and enjoy an Orioles game with a whole bunch of the members of the Round Stable Forums, and that was a okay game. It was a pretty quick game, actually. It was constantly 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Oh well. Friday, fun. Fantastic. We were running off a low sleep from Thursday, staying up as late as we did play Mario Party 3. But either way, let's go ahead and hop over to the fun day of the convention, Saturday. So on Saturday, there was a writer panel, which was actually a Stump the Writers, where you got to ask writers, oh, hey, do you know this about the show? And I'd say about half the questions were cool, and the other half of the questions were they aren't going to know that. Thankfully, all the writers and all the people who worked on the show are pretty decent about it, and if they didn't know the answer to the question, they'd usually plop up a silly answer, and it's pretty cool there. Oh, hi, Luigi cosplay. I've actually... they were actually back-to-back panels, and with the way they were doing the hall of the main event, basically, if you went to go see one panel, you then got kicked out of the room, and then you had to get in line for the next panel, and the next panel was the more traditional voice actor panel. You know, the voice actors kind of basically doing silly hijinks, answering questions. I gotta say, this year, questions were better than last year, though you still had relatively stupid questions along the way. I mean, that's kind of to be expected at a convention. People get up in line, it's like, oh my gosh, I can ask people who work on the show questions. Let me ask my dumb question. Can you say yep? Yep. Actually, I don't think that was a question. But I want to say there was at one point someone just asked Andrea Libman to say something in Fluttershy's voice at some point. Either way, yeah, it was still a good panel. I gotta say, the voice actors really know how to play off of even the dumb questions, and it was fun to watch. Something that I didn't do last year that I kind of wish that I did this year was that there was actually a traveling pony museum, and I want to say this was there at Bronycon 2013, and I just flat out didn't see it, but here it is at Bronycon 2014. Basically, there were a whole bunch of items that people had made that weren't on sale at the vendor hall, but were on display for everyone to just come in there and see, and I was even encouraged to take pictures, so I did, of course, take lots of pictures of everything around here, from all the plushies to the pictures to the clay models to a fantastic Mod Pie plush to Pinkamena with horns to this Doctor Who's picture to Crackle to the Ursa Minor to Derpy on an Etch-a-Sketch. That's fantastic. Another comment that I want to make, the artwork that was used throughout the entire convention here at BronyCon, way better. They got gigantic, like, cardboard printouts this year instead of, like, more traditional, smaller signs that they used last year, and the artwork was absolutely fantastic. Whoever works on the BronyCon staff on the artwork did a wonderful job. I just have to compliment them right now in that regard. We also decided to check out the arcade room, or the gaming room, which was very, very dark and basically just filled with a whole lot of people playing games. If you wanted to, you could go to BronyCon to play a Super Smash Bros. Tournament. I don't necessarily go to a My Little Pony convention to challenge people at Super Smash Bros., but that's just me. That's just me. Anyway, I did want to comment about the vendor hall again. We actually went to the vendor hall all 3 days to check out specifically what they had, because, you know, an entire trip through that gigantic vendor hall, you're not going to see everything, and you want to check out specifically what's going on, and if one of the vendors is doing something on sale. And besides, this is a vendor hall, you might be able to barter a little bit. There was one notable item on sale there, a card game called Twilight's Secret Shipfic Folder, and I had to make sure I get that name right because I completely forgot it. But basically, there was this one vendor selling this card game. It was always surrounded by people. It seemed like they were just constantly selling this card game, and not only that, there were a lot of people at the convention playing Twilight's Secret Shipfic Folder. Andrew commented that he actually saw one game being played where Twilight Sparkle was being shipped with a gender bent shining armor who is cheating on Twilight Sparkle with future Twilight Sparkle. And it's at that point that my mind just explodes and wonders, I'm never playing this game. Saturday was when the charity auction was held. Contrast that to last year where the charity auction was held at the end, where we got to go ahead and watch a whole bunch of items go on sale, including the Flutterhulk versus Alicorn Princess Mike Tyson picture. Yes, go on sale. Two notable items that went on sale that particularly pertain to us. The first here is this NES cartridge. It just looks like a My Little Pony NES cartridge. Fun fact about this is that Andrew Higsby did a playthrough of the game that's on that cartridge. Actually, it's a ROM hack of Mega Man 3 called Dr. Discord's Revenge, and I was actually co-commentating with him on that series. And all of a sudden, here we have it. See that ROM was dumped on a cartridge and reproduced and put in its own custom sleeve, and oh my gosh, I was actually willing to bid on that thing, except that thing immediately jumped in price way beyond what I'd be willing to pay for it. I was actually willing to pay up to $250 for that, just because it would have been a novel thing to get, Andrew, and no, it went up way too fast, and it ultimately sold for like $1,000, so kinda outside my price range. I kinda need a loan to get that. There are a lot of cool items. Perhaps the other notable item, I did say there were two notable items, is that actually a Discord plush went on sale at the charity auction. I have to wonder if that was the same Discord plush that we saw at the vendor hall. I'm completely uncertain. But fun fact, the Discord plush at the vendor hall was going on sale for like $900. And the one you're seeing here at the charity auction only sold for like $425. And Evilpoptart was kicking himself because he's like, because he really wanted a Discord plush, but unfortunately you have to take out a loan to get a Discord plush. Sorry, Evilpoptart, I hope you can take out a loan for the Discord plush, but he's kicking himself because vendor hall 900, charity auction less, and the money was going to charity. Okay then. Also, this is a My Little Pony convention. What is Yoshi doing here? We ran into a lot of really cool, nifty things, and I gotta say, this year I actually decided to check out one of the cosplay photo shoot events with a whole bunch of people dressed up as your favorite characters. My favorite here is actually this Mod Pie one, just because while they were taking the picture, they were asking the people cosplaying as Mod Pie various questions where the answer was a rock. Like, who's your favorite wrestler? The Rock. Stuff like that. It was just, in a sense, it was almost adorable, just seeing everything here. It's just fun to be around a whole bunch of nerds. What else can I say? Either way, what happens when you surround bronies with a whole bunch of bubbles? They have fun. What happens when you have a kid who doesn't realize Bronycon's coming up and they see a whole bunch of people in full body My Little Pony costumes? He gets really excited. Later that night, we did decide to check out the rave that was going on, the Bronypalooza, just because last year I didn't check it out. I actually did want to check it out, and it wasn't specifically anything special. Like, I understand people like raves and loud music and dancing and stuff like that, but to me, loud music is kind of a turnoff for me, and I never really liked a concert environment or raves or anything like that, just because they kind of give me a headache more than anything else. And Bronypalooza was just basically that. People hopping around, loud music, rave, lights, headache-inducing for me. But, people enjoyed it, and a lot of people enjoy it. It's just not for me. We did decide to go to the anthology panel, which was happening late at night. It was actually had a funny name. It was like Doctor Strange Loves How I Learned to Love the Pony or something like that. It was a reference to Doctor Strange Loves How I Learned to Love the Bomb. That's a fantastic old classical Cold War movie, by the way, everyone. Either way, they had some fun news. They also ate mayonnaise. They ate mayonnaise. They ate mayonnaise. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Sunday. Sunday was relatively a cool down day. The only panel we went to is a comic panel, but I would like to get back to that. Sunday was also a very good day at the vendor hall for us. I actually got, I want to say, about half of my merchandise on Sunday, partially due to discounts. In particular, Evilpoptart probably got what I personally think is one of his best Discord pieces of merchandise that he got. This model figure, which he got for only $45, and I still can't believe he got that for only $45, seeing as a lot of the clay models and different model figurines are going for at least $80, $100. And something like that I would have expected to see go for $200, but he gets it for $45. Man, that is fantastic. And here's another picture of our good pal, the Evilpoptart, actually with the person who made the 2 Discord shorts that he was wearing. One of them was Symphony of the Catastrophe, and the other one was a more generic Discord shirt. But gotta say, Draw Ponies, you were fantastic, and you were fantastic for getting my friend all the fun merchandise that he asked for. Another notable vendor at the vendor hall specifically was like the 3D printed model ponies. We actually, it was me and Andrew, we got to see a 3D printing in place, in the process right here, right now. And that was actually pretty cool to see. Oh, hey, there's a pony being made here. Isn't that pretty cool? That was pretty cool. But yeah, the comic panel was the one panel that happened on Sunday. Here's the thing that I have to say. Andy Price looked like he hadn't gotten any sleep in the last 3 days, and it was definitely notable with the way he was answering questions and otherwise fielding the comic panel. But otherwise, once again, comic panel was probably the most informative out of all of them. And not only that, the questions they generally got was good. And I want to say that's partially attributed to the fact that the comics are definitely not as popular as the show, and the comic panel was not as like jam-packed as like the show general panels. So as a result, the people are there, like the people who are actually interested in the comics, and as a result, they actually ask good questions. I particularly like the question that asked, how do you like stay motivated? Like, I don't want to complete this project. And the answer to that question was, dude, if your job is to draw comics for a living and you're having trouble motivating yourself, get lost. Or I'm paraphrasing from that, but that's a good way to put about it. Just imagine if your life job was, oh, hey, I get to draw comics for a living, or hey, I get to color in comics for a living. I'm having trouble getting motivated. Dude, get out. That was a fantastic answer. Oh, by the way, Evilpoptart got to have a picture with him, with his Discord plush. Well, not his Discord plush. Actually, we ran into the person who got the Discord plush at the charity auction, and they let Evilpoptart get a picture with Discord. Isn't that adorable? But anywho, Bronycon concluded. They had the closing ceremony, which is basically a whole bunch of thank yous, and they actually announced Bronycon 2015 is also happening in Baltimore, the exact same venue, already, which I personally think is kind of a premature announcement. I'm like, oh gosh, because I need to make sure, like, I want to go to Bronycon 2015, but I need to make sure things work out financially. And I've set myself a deadline. Okay, by the end of the year, I'll figure out whether it will work out financially and if I can go back. And the thing is, if I can go back, okay, cool, I can go back, and I hope I can. By the time I make that decision, all the hotels rooms are taken because all the people from Bronycon 2014 have probably already reserved all the rooms. And, like, I want to make it back to the Marriott's. I liked it last year where they kind of announced it in November. Not this year where it's like, oh, hey, right away, Bronycon 2015, Baltimore, come back, crabs, stuff like that. I don't know. Anyway, I spent way too much money on merchandise as I did last year, although if it wasn't for that Lyra plush, I would have stayed in budget, but thanks to that Lyra plush who I got for someone really special, I was actually, unlike last year, I was out of budget, but I don't mind. It was worth it for the Lyra plush and everything else that I got here. Anyway, the convention was over. Our Let's Play group, me, Evilpoptart, Higsby, Andrew, we all enjoyed ourselves to a really nice dinner at a local pizzeria, some nice views of the harbor, and that about concludes it for Bronycon 2014 right there. Definitely enjoyable. As I mentioned just earlier, I would like to go to Bronycon 2015, but I need to make sure it works out financially. In particular, there's actually another convention around July 2015 that I promised someone that I would go to, and just once you start piling on multiple cons, it's like, holy crud, now we're spending lots of money and other things, and I do want to go back. This convention is super fun, and like this year, I just have to really, 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 really thank both Evilpoptart and Higsby. Both of you were just spectacularly fun group of people to be with this weekend, and you made this trip so amazing. Thank you so much. Anywho, as for Bronycon itself, like I said before, fun. They really did improve it by including the East Wing, having the bigger vendor hall. The panels ran better. Just overall, oh yeah, also badge pickup, 0 hours as compared to 4 hours. Matter of fact, we even made a comment, man, The staff at Bronycon must have watched my Bronycon 2013 video because they took the line from 4 hours to 0 hours. Now there's no more line. Oh, man. Oh, now I wonder what are going to happen when they watch this video. And they'll be like, no, Bronycon 2015, the line's going to be 4 hours again. And I'll be like, no, unless I don't actually make it. But either way, the convention was definitely ran better. And it's interesting. The guest count at 2013 Bronycon was like 8,000 something. But Bronycon 2014, the guest count ended up somewhere around the ballpark at 9,400. So I guess you could say the number of guests... No, I'm not going to say it. The number of guests, yeah, it was around 9,400-ish. Either way, I had fun. And I hope you guys had fun enjoying this along with me. Yes, I did take a shower every day. What do you think I am, Mr. Smelly? There were some Mr. Smellies there. I think we've had enough fun here. This has been Milesluigi. See you for my next hijinks and whatever future Trippy Fort Beauty videos I may make in the future.